Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Bobbi Jo and Sheena Show. Best friends, colleagues, mindset coaches here to change the world one thought at a time to get some clarity. Sheena, what are we going to talk about today? Your 6 A's. I love this subject. Which
Well,
one are we going to work on today?
let's start at the very beginning. A very good place to start. So the 6 A's, you're going to have to wait and watch the other ones to find out what the other A's are. So this is what helped me really get out of a funk. So if I got stuck in myself, I would literally go stop. And the first thing I would do would be to acknowledge. Now, what do I mean by acknowledge? I mean, acknowledge everything, acknowledge myself, acknowledge where I am, acknowledge who I am, just all of that, just like stop. I mean, because sometimes we think we have to know the answer to everything, and it's even acknowledging that I don't know the answer here. So it's quite a big subject area that I went through in my book for like I don't know how many pages it just went on about acknowledging. But the first thing I guess to do is just acknowledge yourself in that, and just that's the awareness of everything, the awareness flows through all of these days anyway, but it's really just acknowledging yourself, acknowledging where you are, acknowledging maybe you don't know everything, acknowledging who you are. That was a great one, Bobbi Jo, that I did one time. Was I couldn't get a SIM card to work. I put a new SIM card in the phone and it just wasn't working, and it was like nearly 2 hours later, and I'm like, for goodness sake, I am infinite intelligence itself. And I just started laughing and I went, surely you can just allow this information to come through and just fix this and make this phone work. Anyway, without, shadow of a doubt, literally about 2 minutes later, the SIM card worked.
Yeah.
So I called on infinite intelligence at that time as an acknowledgement that I didn't have a clue and it knew everything. So there you go.
I love that. I love that. Acknowledge, yeah, always awareness follows in, but I would just thought acknowledging everything, acknowledging the anger that comes up, acknowledging the happiness that comes up, acknowledging the jealousy that comes up. Acknowledge who you are and stop trying to stuff it. I think that's what happens with us. We're trying to create this perfect, person that think we are or whatever. And it's like, no, we're human beings. We all have crap. And so it's acknowledging that part of us and loving that part of us, because the more you just try to stuff it, it's just going to bubble and rise, and you're going to be dealing with it 2 decades later. So just might as well deal with it now. And anger is not a bad thing. For years, I thought anger was bad, but it was just that whatever was in me trying to get out. And when you allow it, it just is. And then less anger comes around. Sure, it bubbles up here and there, but so acknowledging yourself and the great being that you are, and stop, the should haves. Oh, I should be doing this, or I should be a certain weight, or I should have longer hair or blonder hair, or whatever. Like, just love, acknowledge that you're perfect, divine the way you are, and acknowledge all the icky parts too. And then see yourself, well, if I don't like that part, then I'll change that part with grace. Stop trying to force and fight and whatever. Just love, acknowledge. That's all I got today. We're going to make these short and sweet and simple from now on. So acknowledge yourself and where you're at. And as always, paper to pen. That is truly the charm. Gets out all the chaos up here. I tell my clients to do it. Do I do it as much? Not so much. But when I do, holy bajolies, it does work. That's all I have. Have a wonderful day. Sheena, anything in closing remarks?
I loved what you said there about, acknowledging the anger and the jealousy. That's all it is. It's just like a little child wanting to come up and be acknowledged. It doesn't have to be stuffed down, etc., etc. And I heard a great saying. It said that enlightenment doesn't happen in the light; it happens in the dark. And so it's
Ooh.
allowing and actually seeing all those bits of yourself and just first of all acknowledging them. So there you go. That there ended the acknowledgement of everything about you and everything, yeah, just everything about you. See you for the next.
Acknowledge you, love you. We'll talk to you soon. Have a great day.
Cheerio now.